5 seconds to go. Start. Assam is one of the most beautiful parts of India. Here we have the biggest river and sprawling mountains, green fields, and big dense forests. All these go to make this part of the country beautiful, but they also make communications difficult. We are trying and we hope we shall succeed in maintaining the beauty and at the same time improving the communications. The Communications Ministry has under contemplation the opening up here of a number of post offices and telegraph offices. It is also proposed to have landing grounds for aircraft in convenient places where other means of communication cannot be opened. When the partition came more than 50 years ago, the country was in a very difficult position regarding food. We were importing a huge quantity of food grains from foreign countries. Thank God we are now nearly out of the wood and are able to produce enough for our needs. In the same way, we hope we shall be able to surmount other difficulties which still confront us. That has been possible because the people as a whole have realized the importance of self sufficiency in the matter of food. They have all helped in producing more. There is no dearth of cloth now in the country. I am hoping that any other difficulties that we still have will be solved without much delay. After all, our independence is only 6 years old, and what was not achieved, not even thought of, for such a long time has been achieved within this period. I would therefore earnestly ask you to devote all your energies to the betterment of your own conditions through the council which has been established here. A constitution can be only what its people want it to be. If you make good use of the constitutional provisions, you will find they are good enough for you. You may rest assured that the government of India and the government of Assam will ever be ready to give you such assistance and help as you need. We know the difficulties which you have to face, and the government of India have been trying to help you. The opportunities that you have now got are of great value. They place your destinies in your own hands, and we are ready to give you such assistance as you require. This position has not been earlier when India was not free. You have mentioned the services of the missionaries. I am glad to be able to bear testimony to the very good work that the missionaries have been doing in various parts of the country. I have before this borne testimony to this fact on several occasions. I am therefore not surprised that you have spoken so highly of them. I would only suggest most respectfully one consideration for them. All of us, whether Christians or non Christians, appreciate their services. But as Mahatma Gandhi used to say, we would have appreciated their services all the more if they had not been conditioned by one thing and rendered purely out of love for you and not with a view to conversion. But that is a point which they have to consider. Our Gita tells us that our objective should be to do, to serve, leaving the results in God's hands. It tells us not to hanker for results but only to serve. If the service had been rendered in that spirit, it would have been still more welcome. Our Constitution pledges itself to give freedom to every individual in the country to have any faith he likes. A Christian is as dear to India as a Hindu or a Muslim or a follower of any other religion. We know too that a Christian regards himself as an Indian as much as a Hindu does. That has been one of our great points, not only now but since time immemorial. To you who live in these hills, it is not necessary to point out that for reaching a peak, you can go by several routes. We want everyone to feel that the peak is his and he can reach it by any route that he chooses. Therefore, there can be no objection to any Christian preaching Christianity to Indian Christians or even to non Christians, and the government is determined to give full effect to these provisions of the Constitution. I know that for some time past, some kind of agitation with regard to missionaries has been going on. There is no objection to any Christian preaching his religion. If any objection has been taken, that is not due to the preaching of Christianity, but due to other kinds of activities which some of them have been allegedly carrying on. There is even less objection to any social service which anyone has to render to the people. But at the same time, we expect that those who come to our country for this purpose will confine their activities to preaching alone, and if that is done, there can be no difficulty whatsoever there. Stop.